I'm in the car, but I didn't want to miss a day. But even more than that, what I wanted to share, the conversation I just got off the phone with my close friend was so amazing. I really wanted to share it. So she and her partner had decided to do the theme of New Year's Eve of Naked and Afraid, meaning that they stocked up the house and they were going to be naked for 3 days. First of all, love that idea. How fantastic is that? And so this has so many levels, right? So you're physically a little bit uncomfortable because you're naked. And I'm like naked all the time, but naked for 3 whole days, that's a lot. And so, you've got the kind of the reality of your physical nudity for 3 days. And then also, like, what a beautiful analogy of being vulnerable and naked with your partner. So what happened to transpire in this weekend for them was that a lie that was told came out. And so as a couple, they had to grapple with that conflict. And so, there's a couple ways that you can handle discovering an untruth. You can make a unilateral decision. Now, I am not saying if this is something that is in direct correlation with ethics that have been discussed and that's something you hold personally so dear, you stand by what you believe in 100%. When it's time to walk, But I do want to talk about the discourse. There's a fire. I do want to talk about the discourse in the spaces in between that. So in between abject, oh, it's okay, and then a unilateral, absolutely not. You violated something too precious to me, I'm out. Because in the space in between that can be the beginning of actual unconditional love, meaning love without conditions. An acceptance that we are human, we are fallible, we are going to err and make mistakes. Sometimes because we want to do the right thing, and sometimes because we just fuck up. That is like our nature. So what I offer to you tonight is when you come in conflict, and these can be sizable conflicts with your partner. First of all, a couple of things. Are you being really naked and vulnerable with them, or are you hardening up and getting defensive? Because the more you can soften and be open and vulnerable and naked, the more chance you have to have a really deep discussion about your values and what this brought up. Obviously, trust is the core of every relationship. And when that's damaged, it absolutely needs to be repaired. But it doesn't mean that it's broken. It means that it's damaged. And you may decide that it's worth fixing. Or you may decide it is not worth fixing. So I wish you today to take a look when in some of your conflicts. Are you being vulnerable and naked? Are you bringing the self that really can hear and listen? And if both partners can try to do that, it will take you to a new level of relationship, because once the love becomes without conditions, there is no limit to the growth. There is no limit to the growth. And, that is a beautiful state. Now, that is a state that I feel is in fluctuation. Nothing is permanent. It can come and go. You can feel really like free and open, and your love feels really strong. And then as humans, we are going to clamp down and want to own and, and those feelings of possession come over us. These things will occur. But if you can try to stay on the side of allowing each of you to kind of really exist without conditions, that's so profound. So that anecdote was just so powerful to me. How naked and vulnerable are you being with your partner in and out of crisis? And I wish you a good evening, and I will see you tomorrow.